Hey everybody, welcome to another video for Hainline Manufacturing. So in this video we're going to be making a bracket for an ignition switch on a motorcycle. I'll throw some photos up so you can see what I'm making and what bike it goes on. So this is for a close friend of my family's. I'm making a couple parts for him actually. So this is one bracket out of 5 that I have to make. 2 of them are actually parts, but I'm going to call them brackets. So let's get started and I'll kind of walk you through everything we do. In this video I am doing the super glue and tape technique because this is 80 thou sheet metal. So I had to figure out a way to hold it, and the best way to hold it is super glue and tape. So I'm going to kind of walk you through that process. Came out great. I did have one little mishap where I was not running oil through the fog buster and it loaded the tool up and threw some sparks. So I'll include that in the video. This is my first time running the super glue and tape technique in the Tormach, and my first time actually programming a part that uses that. So I was kind of being conservative, and I don't really run steel a lot in the Tormach, so just kind of learning experience. So it worked out great. Part came out beautiful. I'll throw some videos in at the end, so hope you guys enjoy. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, and there's a lot more videos to come. So thanks everybody. So let's keep making that bracket. So when doing super glue technique, you need to make sure that your base material is decked off, and then you want to take something like an acetone or alcohol and wipe the surface off just to clean all the oil off so the tape really sticks to that base material. So here I'm just wiping it with alcohol, and then once you wipe it, you can let it dry or take an air hose to it, and then you can put the tape on it. You don't want any air bubbles, so I kind of put a little bit on and then took a dowel pin I had and then just kind of slowly ran it with pressure across it to try to squeeze all the air bubbles out and to make sure that it was just sticking the way it should. And my toolbox was a little far away here, so you'll see me stretching to try to grab the scissors. So once you do that, you cut it, and then I can start working on the other plate. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to clean off the surface. There was a little bit of rust, and I heard Scotch brightening the surface of the metal before taping kind of helps it hold. So I'm going to Scotch bright the bottom of that plate, clean everything off. This was laying in my barn, so there was some rust and just some corrosion and stuff on it. So I'm going to wipe it all off after I spray it. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take some tape. I'm going to stick that one little edge on, and I'm going to start sticking the rest of it on. I tried not to touch the metal and get my fingerprints on it. So I was just kind of gripping the edges of it, trying not to put it. And I also didn't really want to touch the tape and put my oil on that. So right here I'm spraying the activator on the part in the machine, and then the glue is on my actual part. So I'm going to stick it on there. You really only have like a second or less to make sure you have it where you want it, because it will just stick instantly. And right here I'm taking calipers and I'm scribing the center of that plate. I wasn't too square putting it on, and I really only need to find the center, so I just scribed where the center is at, and then I just took a drill bit and eyeballed where center was. It really doesn't matter. I'm only running one of these, so that just worked out for me, was just kind of eyeball and center with the tip of that drill. And then I just set Z off the top of the part. I'm running the fog buster without the oil on because I was afraid the oil was going to mess up the tape adhesion or the glue adhesion. So that's why I wasn't running it. Ended up, I had to turn it on, and it actually did just fine, so that wasn't really a worry. Right about here, I noticed that the cut was sounding a little bit different. It was kind of sound like it was loading up, and sure enough, right here, it loaded up and started throwing sparks everywhere. I ended up just putting the oil on and not changing anything and restarting it, and it cut just fine after that. So it was just because I was just running air. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Some things I learned from this tape technique is that you need to be aware of small areas because they can break off and get in the way of the end mill. The super glue and tape technique is a great technique. I mean, this is a perfect example. 80 thou thick material. I don't have a plasma cutter. I don't have anything. I don't have a laser. So this is a great way where you can cut out sheet metal in a mill since you already have that. I've also seen it done on bigger parts, and those work out great. So down the road, I'll probably start doing more parts like this if they require it, because I think it's a great technique, very easy to do, very cheap to do, and it basically pays for itself by the ease of work holding that you can do with it.